there is a degree of prejudice here, They have made the allegations, they have taken action on them. To us, it seems or it appears that these allegations by the government of Canada are primarily politically driven. There was a term called politically condoned activities, hate crimes. You said alacrity, they didn't respond with alacrity. I would go further, say they did not take it at all. It seems there is a feeling that these are part of freedom of expression or whatever you call it, and such hate crimes are being condoned in the political environment and the political system. And certainly that is something of concern, and we have flagged it. No specific information has been shared by Canada on this case, either then or before or after. We have, as we have said, or I think it's been made very clear, we are willing to look at any specific information. We have conveyed this to the Canadian side, made it clear to them that we are willing to look at any specific information that is provided to us. But so far, we have not received any such specific information. There was a indirect question on that. Let me also point out that from our side, very specific evidence about criminal activities by individuals based on Canadian soil has been shared with the Canadian authorities on a regular basis, but not been acted upon. If there is any country, if you're talking about reputational issues and reputational damage, if there's any country that needs to look at this, I think it is Canada and its growing reputation as a place, as a safe haven for terrorists, for extremists, and for organized crime. And I think that's a country that needs to worry about its international reputation. We have been sharing details of fugitives from justice who have run away, who are seeking safe havens in Canada and elsewhere, to come back to India and face justice and justice, whether it's economic fugitives or as terrorists. I think that's the way rule of law works. I don't even know what else to tell you how to handle. Easier would be if the host governments, where they're seeking safe havens, take action against such terrorists. Yes, we have informed the Canadian government that there should be parity in strength and rank equivalence in our diplomatic presence, in mutual diplomatic presence. Their numbers here are very much higher than ours in Canada. The details of this are being worked out, but I assume there will be a reduction from the Canadian side. We have always believed that it is the host government's responsibility to provide security. If there is some places we have our own security posture also, but look, I don't want to discuss security measures in public. That's not an appropriate situation. Look, I don't know how to react to this. We obviously condemn any threat. But look, the overall, I think we should look at the larger issue. The larger issue is of terrorism. And not just, terrorism, but also the fact that it is being funded and supported, and we know this for some time, from our western neighbor Pakistan. But the issue of safe havens and places to operate is being provided abroad, including in Canada, and that we would expect that is the main focus. The question is, do we have the political will to address terrorism, or we want to justify it and condone it? So I think that's what we would like to say. On the issue of measures for our security, as I think the same question was asked, I don't want to discuss publicly, but of course we take. It is under the Vienna Convention. We expect host governments to provide security and for our premises, for our diplomatic personnel. What exact specific measures, I don't want to discuss publicly. We have informed the Canadian government that there should be parity of strength and rank equivalence in our diplomatic presence, or mutual diplomatic presence. We think that the numbers are much higher, and those details are being worked out, and we think hence the number, there'll be reduction. So yes, I presume this is pursuant to our conversation or request. Canadian diplomats facing threats here, we take our obligations of Vienna Conventions very seriously, and if there are specific threats and things, I'm sure they are in touch with our security agencies, and we will certainly providing all security and all support to foreign diplomats in India. We would accordingly also expect that the Canadian authorities show similar sensitivity to posters threatening assassination and incitement to violence against our diplomats, attacks on our premises, or such kind of threats, and take their obligations under the Vienna Convention a little more seriously. We have ongoing conversations with friends and partners. We have made our position quite clear to them on the lines that I've outlined just now. That's why I thought I'll outline our position first, that there has been no specific information, and we're willing to look at that if provided. You are aware of the security threats being faced by our High Commission and consulates in Canada. This has disrupted their normal functioning. Accordingly, our High Commission and consulates are temporarily unable to process visa applications. We will be reviewing the situation on a regular basis. EA visas also are on temporary suspension. They also, because they would at some point also involve our functioning of our High Commission, our diplomats there, all categories. You said which categories? I think Parikshit, sorry, I missed you somewhere in the back. Yeah, all categories of visas are suspended. Let me explain again. The issue is not about travel to India. The question is not about travel to India. Those who have valid visas, those who have other kind of documents like OCIs are free to travel to India. But the issue is of incitement to violence, the inaction by the Canadian authorities, and a creation of an environment that disrupts the functioning of our High Commission and consulates. That's what's making us stop temporarily this issuance of visas or providing visa services. And as I said, we will be reviewing the situation on a regular basis. Pakistan comments. I don't even know how to quite respond to that. Pakistan, if there is the last country, I think, talking about credibility, and I don't think anybody really takes their comments seriously at all.